Day 5 of a 30-day challenge to become more comfortable on film. Hi, my name's Jacob Tyler Norman, and yeah, let's get into it. I had some whack dreams last night though. I dreamed that I had a confrontation at a library. So this is a true story. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning last night, and sometimes you have a bad dream, and so you're just like, that was awful, and you go back to sleep because you don't want to remember it. But in this dream, I was the hero of the story, and it was an awesome dream. So I was like, I'm gonna remember this. So I started repeating the dream to myself. So now I remember it. But in the dream, I was at the library with a friend, and we were sitting in a corner of the library, and we were just, we were looking at books, being quiet and respectful, doing library stuff inside of a library. And a group of 3 middle-aged men came into our little nook, our little corner, and there was a lot of space in the area we were sitting and reading silently and respectfully in the library, but they decided to sit right next to me. And I was like, in my dream I thought, that's weird. You know how like when you're driving in a parking lot and you park in a space that's away from all the other cars because you don't want to be parked next to. Some people do that on purpose, and then you come back from the mall or wherever you were at, and you see that somebody parked next to your car, and you're just like, why'd you do that? And it makes you mad. It was kind of like that. Like in the dream, we had our space, and these 3 men just decided to sit right next to us. And so, I thought that was weird. So in the dream, I get up and I move over to a different space away from these 3 gentlemen. And one of the 3 men gets up and then moves and doesn't say anything and sits right next to me again. And I was like, yo, like in the dream I was thinking, don't like that. And I moved again I moved a chair and scepter sat way away from everybody. So, and then the guy also grabbed a chair and sat next to me. And I went, and in the dream, I said loudly, which you're not supposed to do because you're in a library, I said, what's the problem? What's your problem? Why are you doing this to me? And he said, well, on the way to the library, you cut me off. And, I knew I wasn't driving because I don't drive. So that means my friend apparently cut these gentlemen off, and they followed us into the library because they were mad about it. And in the dream I was like, that's what this is about. And I was mad because I'm like, you're grown men, and you're, because you got cut off. So I was mad because I was like, that's immature. You grown ass men. You follow me and my friend into the library because, we're not that good at driving apparently. But I think you're overreacting. And I started yelling. I said, either hit me or leave. And I started yelling, and people started looking. And in the dream, he's like, you're in a library, stop yelling. And I was like, and so I started yelling more. And he got flustered because he was embarrassed because he didn't want to be associated with someone who was yelling. So I solved the problem by changing the social norm. And so he got embarrassed because he was like, dude, you're drawing attention to us. We're supposed to be quiet. We're in a library. And he just kind of takes off. He leaves because he's like, yo, this is too heavy. So that's how I won the argument. That's how I won the battle. These guys were, going to do us some harm. That's what it felt like in the dream. But because I was loud and, was like, hey, this guy's a bully. This guy's trying to intimidate me. And I started yelling in the library. Everyone looked around. He got embarrassed. And so he and his friends left. But then the second part of the dream was I was yelling in a library, so the library had security for some reason. I don't know, dreams are weird. So then the library security was looking for looking for the guy who was yelling. So I'm like sneaking around this library, and my friend disappeared. I don't know where she was, but then I decided the best way to hide from the library security was to, there were these kids who were all like sitting around a teacher, and the teacher was teaching them how to paint. And so I pretended to be a child, and I grabbed a hat, like a kid's hat, put it on, and sat at this little desk and started painting. And so I was, and in reality that wouldn't work, but in my dream it worked perfectly. I would start painting, and the teacher was like, you weren't here a second ago. You haven't been here. And I said, no, I've been here the whole time. And I showed her my painting, which was like bad. It was like just messed up colors, while the other kids, who were like 5 or 6 years old, so I'm like taller than everyone too. There's no way I look like a kid. Their paintings were like, they're all little Vincent van Goghs, and I'm here finger painting. But she was just like, oh, okay, that checks out. You have a painting. And so I got away with it too. And then I woke up and I was like, man, that was a good dream. Because usually in my dreams, I have these dreams where I'm always running from something. Like, that's a reoccurring thing. Like a dream that I have, not all the time, but I have the same type of dream, and it goes something like this. Like, there'll be zombies or vampires or like a shadow, like just something kind of evil chasing me. And I'll be running up the stairs to my childhood home, because in my childhood home we had this big back porch, and I'll be running up the porch steps to a sliding glass door, and they'll be right behind me, the zombies, the dark forest, whatever. I think it depends on like whatever I've been watching recently, or whatever. But anyways, I'll be chased by something, and I'll run and I'll close the sliding glass door, and I'll close it and it will lock automatically after but I'm like, did it lock? And I question myself. And so I go to what I think to lock it, but I'm actually unlocking it. And because I do that, the enemy gets in and I die. So usually my dreams don't end well, but this library dream, I got rid of the bad guys without violence, which was cool, with just, by fighting some social norms. And then after the security, which was chasing me, I tricked them with a clever disguise. So I felt like I was the hero of the story. I was like, man, that's a good dream. Maybe I'll just avoid libraries so I can avoid future conflict with people. I'm filming this first thing in the morning because I have to work 12 to 8 today, which is a bummer, because I looked at the weather forecast and it's like 30% chance of rain. It's kind of cloudy outside, and yeah. And so maybe we'll be busy because it's a rain. I work at a restaurant that's inside of a mall, or at a mall, so maybe a lot of people will come and try to shop and avoid the rain. But usually a rainy day on a Monday doesn't seem good for business. But you never know. I try to go into Mondays are always slow, historically speaking. And I always work Mondays. I don't know why. I don't like working Mondays. If I like working the weekends because they're busy, Mondays are slow. And when you're busy, time goes by faster. Yeah, I think I'm starting to experience some improvement. I'm able just to tap in. Before I was thinking like it takes me 10 minutes to get into a flow, but now I'm thinking, okay, I can do it faster. Like I'm not judging myself so harshly on what I'm going to talk about, or if I'm rambling, because I've already been like, yeah, I ramble, okay. And you know, maybe in a future video series I'll have a more specific points that I want to talk about, but right now I'm just like, I wake up and just bleh. I like doing that bleh. But yeah, I think I'm getting better, which is good because it's only day 4. It's day 5, yes. So that's good. Things are looking up. Work might be boring, but you know, that's okay. I work with the good thing is, even like, the cool thing about working at my job right now is I like everybody I work with, like, so it's, even if it's slow and boring, it's kind of like I still get paid, even if I don't make as much money because I'm working off tips, and on slower days I make less money. But even on those slower days, that just means more time that I get to hang out with my friends, and that makes me happy. That's really all I have to say for the time being. But thanks for listening to me. You know, do you guys have weird dreams? I have very weird dreams, so I wonder, you know, comment below about the most weirdest dream you've had recently, I guess. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell. I don't know what that is, but I hear that all the time. And I will see you tomorrow for day 6 of this 30-day challenge. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.